Over by the merch tent is where I was charging earlier.
Okay.
Oh, you can charge right here. Oh, it's super risky.
Yeah, I was having withdrawals without my phone yesterday.
Yeah. I left my phone on the charger up there, and I was like, I feel naked. I don't have my phone
Yes,
anymore.
literally. Thank you.
The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is opportunity, energy, innovation, community, and results. This isn't a typical university. It's Charlotte. Of the 3 top 75 public research universities in North Carolina, only one powers its fastest growing city. The difference is Charlotte.
Greatness lives in these halls,
Dedication to academic excellence.
in the midst of palm and pine. Here, proud Gators laid the foundation. They set the bar we now raise. At the University of Florida, legacy isn't just something we honor. It's something we build on.
as signal callers in this offense, but they'll stay with Hennessy here on second down. Off 1 foot, finds House, makes a catch in traffic, stumbles forward near the 20-yard line, and a big pickup on second down.
Keep in mind, it's all about where the ball is when the flag is pulled. So you'll see these athletes are going to reach the ball out as far as possible, and that is where the next play is spotted based off of the ball placement and when the flag is pulled. So it's just great repetition and habits of these athletes.
The line to gain, the 20-yard line. 2 wide receivers to either side of the center. Blocker in the backfield with Hennessy. Hennessy looks over the middle, and dangerous throw. Should have been picked off. Kyla Moore couldn't hang on to it. She also comes up limping a bit. But it's a pass breakup that brings up 4th down for the Bulldogs.
The 2 defenders driving in on that play. You think they almost knock each other out of the way. Nice play call, but you're right. Moore had it in her hand. This is where, for these athletes, these receivers in particular, you've got to go and attack the football. You can't wait for the ball to come to you.
That's a timeout taken by the Georgia Bulldogs. Kyle Bailey, Phoebe Schechter here with you. If you're watching on ESPNU here on this Sunday, what a time to be a fan, an athlete, a coach that's a part of the flag football world, especially on the women's side. First of its kind, Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic here in Tempe, Arizona. Phoebe, you've been at this sport for a long time. You've become one of the most well-known figures in this sport. It's a huge part of your life. What's it like for you to see this kind of stage set for these young athletes?
You know, it truly is unbelievable. And the experience these athletes have had so far, from the moment they arrived at the airport, you know, they were greeted by the Yellow Jackets who brought them in a team bus where they had a red carpet and they had the cheerleaders, the mascot, they had a rapper entertaining them. And then ultimately they went through the kind of media car wash and the player lounge and the gifting lounge. I mean, you could not ask for anything more. And we're going to keep saying it all weekend long. The Fiesta Bowl has set the standard when it comes to flag football. And what I love is that they said, hey, we do this for the men when it comes to tackle. We're going to make sure that the women get the exact same opportunity as they do. And these athletes have just soaked up every single moment so far.
Women's flag football growing leaps and bounds at the collegiate level as it barrels toward its Olympics debut in 2028 at the Summer Games in Los Angeles. As here we go on 4th down. Who will it go to? Well, it's back to Hennessy. 2 rushers coming. Great job to drop it off for a completion. 1st down, Bulldogs inside the 20-yard line. And a nice play designed by Georgia to keep the drive alive.
Really love to see that. You've got 3 backs, so you don't know. I mean, this is what's beautiful. It could go to any of those athletes back there who could be the quarterback. And then you see Ashley Marshall, who snapped the ball, then understand the situation, getting her eyes around, field awareness. This is beautiful. This is what you want to see. Really great game plan.
Well, scoreless at the end of 1, but the Bulldogs driving here in Tempe. It's the Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic here on ESPNU. Nice. Well done. What's that? I cannot. No, we still can't. Nailed the count? Oakley might have the best commercials on TV right now. I don't even think it's close. It's unbelievable. I showed them to my son last night. He's like, can I have them? No. No. No, buddy, you cannot have those. Not yet. Oh. 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 Yes.
coverage, getting a hand in, breaking up that pass, even after a little double kind of fake pump there early on from the quarterback. This is great field position, though. This is the best field position that the Bulldogs have had so far.
There's that two up back formation again as Hennessy scrambling to her right, throws wide right, incomplete, looking for number 27, Grayson Moody.
When you're looking at the kind of game plan here of USC, they're starting to rush three. We're saying we believe that if we give you enough pressure, you're not going to be able to make a play. And then ultimately they're doing a great job in coverage when it comes to kind of that man. It's almost like a blitz zero sort of situation we have going on. And this is that really incredible battle, because now you're ultimately in third down. You're feeling the pressure. You need to be able to get points before the half. And remember, this all started from going for it on 4th and 4.
Number 28, Lily Macrina. Number 2, Neely Cook, lined up to the far side of the field. Hennessy back in the gun. Two up backs once again. Here's Hennessy, comes near side again. Mary House makes the catch, flips it. A lateral to number 3, Burns Scott. Scott has her flag pulled short of the goal line. Nifty play that time by the Bulldogs, and it's a common thing we just saw there in the world of 7-on-7 flag football.
Laterals are just so much fun.
Yeah,
I mean, it totally opens up the game of what you're able to do, and then it forces a defense to be incredibly disciplined, which in the heat of the moment, you think you're about to pull a flag and the ball is lateraled away from you, where you might have had your other defender coming to help you out in that moment. So these defenses have to be so well disciplined, but before you know it, we're 4th and goal.
So about 10 yards out from the goal line. The Dogs will go for it on 4th. Hennessy rolling right, turns, flips it, incomplete. Trying to find Ashley Marshall in traffic, but it tips off her fingers, falls incomplete. Another turnover on downs, and once again the Bulldogs turned away from the goal line.
And another great play by Jaden Bellemere, who got her hand in again to get that PBU, ultimately leading to this turnover. Now, you feel comfortable if you're the Bulldogs, because you're going to force USC to drive down the field, which is one of the reasons why you would go for it on 4th down.
Looking down to the other field, the north field here at Dorsey Fields, 12-0 UCF leading Grand Canyon right now. Again, all of these teams vying for seeding. Pool play today, and then based on the results, seeds 1 through 8 tomorrow. We'll set up morning action going into a couple of semifinal games, and then ultimately the championship game at 3 o'clock tomorrow here on ESPNU, as there's a completion on 1st down by Jordan Flores.
And what's really fascinating when it comes to this defensively is you might rush 1, you might rush 2, but you're almost saying, hey, if you've got 2 blockers back there, I'm dictating the play. Because if you're someone that's into block, if you're not blocking, you're probably doing some sort of kind of easy target, sort of mirror play.
2nd down, Flores dancing, finds Douglas across the middle. Nice job by Douglas to hang on to it. Has her flag pulled pretty quickly by number 3, Burns Scott.
Yeah, Cammie Douglas, probably one of the tallest and longest limb players on the field right now. Only a freshman.
Wow.
I mean, you think about the potential. And USC, they only just started their program this year. So you imagine where they're going to be even at the end of this season and next year. Unbelievable job by this team.
Douglas split out wide to the near sideline. Flores checking the play call on a wristband. Claps, calls for it from the gun. Goes to Swessinger. There's the flip to Moore. Moore, sideline. And a nifty play as the Trojans try their hand at a lateral play. Number 22, Mary House, making the stop.
I really love watching Kyla Moore. We had the opportunity of calling a friendly scrimmage between USC and UCLA only back in February. And she was the star of the show then. I mean, her speed, her awareness, she's even gotten better since we last had the opportunity to see her. But you think about that kind of hook and ladder attitude when you're playing this game, the awareness. Imagine now you start to add in a bit more of that kind of flag nuance, the hip moves. This team can be really dangerous.
Under
7. 1st down for the Trojans. There's more coming in motion. Ball goes to Swessinger. Catches it on a slant. Flag pulled right away in a short game.
Nice little switch release there between Schlesinger and Moore. Ultimately, you send Moore out like that on some sort of motion, you're giving a clear identifier to the quarterback what the defense is, and it's a nice, easy read. Hey, if the defender sticks with Schlesinger, you go here. If they stick with Moore, you go here. And you like to have those little wins, especially early on, where you see an offense might have a little bit of trouble getting into a rhythm.
Whether it's tackle football or flag football, they call it eye candy, testing the eye discipline of the defense. And both teams deploying that here in the first half. Second down, Flores evades pressure, spins it over the middle, but a whistle, and I believe checked before the ball got away.
What a great job there. And this is where the rush can be absolutely lethal. I mean, you look at the down and distance, how much ground has been lost here. Now your game plan changes. You're third and long. You almost have to achieve a first down here, because how comfortable do you feel being fourth on your half of the field?
Let's see what Zach Pennell draws up. Flores fakes the handoff, going deep, down the middle, has Douglas, catch made, and a chunk play keeps the Trojans' drive alive. What a job by Cammie Douglas that time. Had to adjust her body, made sure she secured the catch, and a big play for USC.
Well, they definitely achieved that first down. And this is the first real shot that we've seen of the game so far. Great job. I mean, even having a defender on her hip there, looking to make the flagpole. Lily Macrina just right there, but great identification early on.
Cammie Douglas getting behind the defense. Gives her team a fresh set of downs. On first, here's Flores. Goes back to Douglas, rewards her over the middle. And inside the 20-yard line she goes. And it's another first down for USC, and Cammie Douglas getting her work in late in the second quarter.
I like this duo right now. I mean, you always want to kind of feed your hot receiver when it gets to it, but you're also looking at the ball placement. The ball is going up nice and high where only Cammie Douglas can get after it, and allows her to kind of keep running with the ball in her hand.
So first down here, about 18 yards shy of the goal line. Receivers overloaded to the right side of the formation. Kyla Moore to the right of Jordan Flores. Flores straight drop going back to Douglas, but Douglas can't hang on, and Neely Cook was there to aid in the incompletion. That'll bring up second down.
I think sometimes when you also feel like you've got a hot receiver, you tend to bring your eyes towards them. Kyla Moore was running a swing route and had tons of space, but it's hard in those moments. You're feeling the pressure. You're feeling like you've got to achieve this. This is the first big drive that you've had when it comes to USC throughout. So just having that moment of calm. They've got so many great leaders on this team. I mean, their teammates are telling us all day yesterday about how wonderful the leadership is here from USC.
Douglas, Schlesinger, and Bessie lined up to the far side, same formation. To swing pass out to Moore. Moore has room to run. Sprinting down the far sideline, in for the touchdown. Put 6 on the board for the Trojans. Kyla Moore showing off the Hot Wheels that time. Had some defenders in the vicinity to make the play, but they just couldn't catch up to Kyla Moore. And it's 6-0 Southern California.
That speed was on show, absolutely. I mean, you ultimately are running the same play back to back and identifying a different receiver to throw it to. You watch the eyes of the defender just gets totally lost in the last second hit move with the reach. I mean, she had 2 defenders that potentially could have made a play on her, but brilliant job there from Jordan Flores finding Moore, and great drive ultimately.
Great decision that time from Flores as Moore goes in motion on the conversion attempt. Flores double pumps. It's good. 7-0. Trojans take the lead.
Jordan Schlesinger coming up big in that moment for the extra point. Really good job. I mean, Flores again with her composure.
It's okay. I'm glad you saw it because I had no idea who caught that ball. I was trying to see through about 17 bodies over here. 7-0 USC. I think you turned me down a little bit. Did you? Huh. Interesting. My headset volume just dropped dramatically. Testing, 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 testing. Okay, well, we'll keep rolling here. I lost some headset volume. I don't know if that's a deal we can work on. First down, Georgia. What a grab in traffic by Neely Cook. Little sidearm sling from Claire Hennessy. Great grab. The ball spotted just shy of the 20. We've got a penalty flag down.
I mean, she did a great job of holding on to that ball. Quite a lot of interference there from the defense.
Yeah,
So that will be a legal contact on the defense. You can't be hanging off an offensive player like that, unfortunately. Automatic first down.
All right, so first down and 10, Georgia here following the penalty. Ball spotted just inside the 20-yard line. Snap back, pump fake, and a sack as Aliota couldn't get it away before pressure arrived.
Yeah, Aliota had her eyes set on Mary House, again, who's kind of been her star receiver. You saw her go to kind of fake pump it there, saw that House was double covered, and so therefore wasn't able to follow through.
So now both teams will retreat to the sideline here. Timeout called. 2 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. And we'll step aside. 7-0 USC here in Tempe, Arizona. It's the Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic on ESPNU. In the 2-minute warning here in the first half, Tempe, Arizona, the campus of Arizona State, where the Southern Cal Trojans lead the Georgia Bulldogs 7-0. And both these teams 1-1 thus far here in the Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic, the inaugural event, first of its kind. And both teams, again, looking to pick up their second win of this tournament in pool play action and set themselves up with the best seeding possible as they go into Championship Sunday tomorrow here in Tempe. Kyle Bailey, Phoebe Schechter with you here late on a Saturday evening. And you said it already, we got some tired legs out there. These ladies are young, but it's been a long day out here in the Phoenix heat.
It's been an incredibly long day, but they still have that burst, and it doesn't matter when you can kind of spin your way around.
Mary House pirouetting through the defense. Just as I say the legs are tired, she reminds me that she's a college-age athlete, and they're not that tired, I guess.
No, but this is what you want to see, right? She runs a nice 5 and out, heads towards the sideline, has the leverage against her defender, and then you don't stop till the whistle blows.
1:41 to play, and Georgia Bulldogs picking up the pace here as that one skips off the turf incomplete. Intended for Neely Cook. Aliota had to get rid of it that time. It didn't put quite enough on it.
No, but I love what Aliota's doing. You're watching her. She's peeking to the right, giving that kind of intention of throwing that direction, and then already has decided where she's going to go with the ball after that. They were using a little bit of tempo, and ultimately getting their receivers on the run, trying to get the ball into the playmaker's hands.
So big second down coming here. 2 receivers to either side of the formation. Aliota, wobbly duck far side, but it's caught by Watton, and she's across, well, actually stopped short of midfield, according to the far side judge, and that'll bring up 3rd down, though that's not the worst thing in the world in flag football.
No, it is not, because you have the opportunity, if you wanted, especially in this down and distance, to take a shot potentially, because you're thinking, oh, we'll have 4th down. I feel good about my 2-yard game plan ultimately. I have to say that was a beautiful flag pull previously by Samantha Frederico, just diving. The accuracy and skill you need to make those flag pulls is incredible.
So the Bulldogs break the huddle as we go under 1 minute to play here in the opening half. Bulldogs looking for the equalizer. Here's Aliota coming near side. Catch made by House. Stops on a dime. Flips it back to the middle of the field. And there's Burns Scott off to the races. And a collision at the end of the play. As both players a bit slow to get up. There's a big chunk play for the Bulldogs, and the clock stops at 43.9 seconds remaining.
What a play there, and flag pull again, Mariana Eguebe. But this is what flag is all about. You're watching the receiver catch the ball on the outside, the awareness to lateral it back and get inside. Beautiful.
1st down. Aliota calls for it. Grabs it, spins it, far side, catch made. And Kyla Moore there to pull the flag. It's a modest pickup on 1st down. The clock stops at 26 seconds.
A nice, easy read there for Aliota. You've got an out and an up ultimately. Good play design. You want to keep finding these nice completions, especially where they are on the field. This is crucial for Georgia to be able to try and get points on the board. Now your 1st down and goal, this is a great opportunity. You want to eat some of the clock up, but you've only got 26 seconds left in this half.
3 timeouts per half, per team. You can't take them with you. They don't roll over to the second half. So sometimes in this game, the final couple of minutes of the half can take upwards of 10, 15 minutes, depending upon strategy and situation. And every possession matters big time, certainly in a game this close. And so if you're the Georgia Bulldogs here, Phoebe, what are you looking for on 1st down with 26 seconds left to go?
I mean, you're looking to try and chunk it because you've ultimately got 20 yards, right? So you're breaking it down into, okay, I've got 4 attempts to make it 20 yards. I need to get minimum 5 to 6 yards every single play and then be aware of the clock as well. It's pro clock here within 2 minutes of the half.
And the far side judge comes whistling in. Now it's a timeout taken by the USC Trojans. I think Zach Pinnell wanted to get a look at how Georgia would line up there. And so the Trojans will talk it over. This USC squad was created by freshman rusher Alia Pasternak. She got the ball rolling on starting a flag football team at USC before her freshman year even started. The Huntington Beach, California native apparently drove to the Trojans campus, met with the club advisor last year, started all the paperwork, and created an Instagram account for the team, which now has over 6,000 followers, and put her team on course to become an official club sport this spring, which is pretty remarkable. You know, we all think back to being a freshman in college, how overwhelming that can be, and taking new classes, being in a new place, and here's Pasternak saying, you know what, I want to be a pioneer and start a new club on campus all at the same time.
It's absolutely unbelievable. And then to see that built something that now is at the Fiesta Bowl, where it's been created just for flag football. That's Flag Football Classic we're witnessing today and tomorrow. I mean, you talk about determination and drive of these young athletes. They are so much more than student athletes.
26 seconds to go. First down for the Bulldogs coming out of the timeout. Aliota takes the snap. 2 rushers coming. She runs with it, but the flag is pulled for a loss about the 20-yard line. We'll call it the 21, and the clock continuing to run.
I mean, you spoke her name, and she got a huge flag pull.
And there's a spike to stop the clock by Aliota. 10.2 seconds remaining. They'll burn it down. That'll bring up third. So 2 more shots at the end zone here with 10 seconds left to go. Now, what's the strategy here? You've got, time to run 2 plays. Are you taking both shots into the end? Obviously, you get to 4th down, you're going to have to, but are you taking a shot into the end zone here, or are you trying to just pick up some yardage?
You have to look at what's been successful for you so far, and ultimately that has been your chunk plays. It hasn't been anything big and explosive downfield, but it's when you find your receiver, who is the star in this moment. It's been House ultimately so far for the Bulldogs.
Aliota scrambling right this time. Throws across her body, back of the end zone, nearly caught but dropped. And that would have been a highlight reel catch. There's no doubt about that. But it falls incomplete and brings up 4th down. Number 15, Allie Gasser was there, but just couldn't haul it in.
It felt like time stood still when that catch was almost about to happen. It just hung in her hands, and her eyes were there, and then, the last second, and you know that you could be a huge playmaker in that moment.
You could tell right there. She stared at the turf. She wanted that one badly, but they've got one more crack at it. 4.5 seconds left to go in the half. Georgia trailing 7-0, but a chance to tie it up. This one, no doubt, going to the end zone. And here's another timeout called by the Trojans. Again, you can't take them with you. It's a smart move by Zach Pennell and company. Get a look at the formation, convene, talk it over, and then see what Georgia comes out with.
And it'd be fascinating for Georgia to see what they're going to do. I mean, they haven't really been able to stop this rush of 3 athletes. I mean, every single play they've been sending it and just allowing for 1 or 2 to be able to make an impact, but you need to find a way to buy more time for your quarterback. So are you thinking, hey, let's leave another offensive player in to block? Or what other game plans do you have? Are you looking to have a lateral situation that's kind of scheme devised here? I mean, head coach Caroline Kaplinger, she played flag football. She officiates in flag football and tackle football. I mean, one of the few female head coaches that we have here, and it's just, you want someone that has that experience, has been in those moments in these big stages before.
The other female head coach on campus this weekend, Kylie Gorn-Prodham, who is over with the Florida Gators, filling in for Joshua Saunders, who was Caroline Kaplinger's high school coach and mentor. A lot of connections in this game. Here's 4th down. Aliota, back of the end zone, a bit too much juice on that one, falls incomplete, and that will take us to the half. The Georgia defense holds, and they'll take a 7-0 advantage into halftime. Let's take one more look at it here. Beauty of a ball from Aliota, but I think she just put too much on it.
Yeah, I need a little bit more arc, but look, they kept in 3 blockers ultimately against 1 rusher. You've got to be able to have somebody release, and that's that cat and mouse game. They were rushing 3 the whole time. Well, hey, now, big moment, I'm only going to rush 1.
There you go, 24 minutes in the books, and the Georgia Bulldogs, rather the USC Trojans, with a 7-0 lead as we go to halftime here at the Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic in Tempe, Arizona on ESPNU.
Now testing Oakley Hypergrip technology. Fit system initializing. Launch gravity study. Fit system ready. Rotation scenario. Oakley Hypergrip technology. Next level unleashed.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities in education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, We'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends.
Jason, I appreciate you being with us. Just for starters, your impressions of the first ever Fiesta Flag Football Classic and what this means to these young women to have a stage like this.
First of all, I think it's a phenomenal experience for our student athletes, getting the opportunity to come out here and play in a Fiesta Bowl type event. It feels like a real bowl game. And this experience, I think, is second to none, and it will continue to grow over time.
What are your thoughts on the growth of this game? You and I were chatting before about the last couple of years, seeing these young ladies have this platform and what they've done. Welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. Halftime between the Trojans and the Bulldogs. We're in pool play on a Saturday. Both these teams 1-1 and a tight game at the half. The Trojans lead at 7-0, Phoebe. Georgia had their chance there at the end but couldn't cash in. We've seen some big plays, but really both these teams having trouble sustaining drives and keeping the offense going, and I guess that's a credit to the defenses as well.
Yeah, these defenses have stepped up massively. We've already seen an interception early on. And to your point, I mean, this has really become a defensive masterclass. When you're thinking at this part of the day, these athletes have been here since 9 a.m. playing in the 90-plus degree heat of Tempe, Arizona. I know we've experienced a little bit of that today, but they've been able to scout each other all day long. And that's what's been so crucial is because you've got these big chunks of times in between their game. They each play 3 when it comes to pool play. We have 4 in each group. There's been a lot of time and attention put on what these offenses are able to do.
No doubt. And with Georgia, that we've seen both quarterbacks, they're alternating series right now, and we're watching both, Alia. We're watching both Aliota and, both quarterbacks getting opportunities here in the first half. Is that a strategy you think they stick with in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at what's working for you. You can see that these teams are adjusting throughout, especially we looked at that last play in particular where you're talking about the rushers. How many are you sending? How many are you showing that you could be sending? I mean, that's a big part of the game plan as well. Do you have enough practice under your belt that you're able to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage? And that's where USC, who are brand new this year, are still learning a lot of that. And you've got the Bulldogs who have a bit more experience. However, they're going against a really great defense with a lot of talented athletes.
So they sure are. And the athleticism is so apparent out there on the field. The margins are so slim. And, you and I have both seen a lot of flag football, you more so than just about anybody else here. But, from the younger ages, 13, 14, all the way up through the collegiate ranks. And when you get to this level, athletes 19, 20, 21, 22, as expected, but it's also, when you see it, it's very clear how thin these margins are, and why it's so important to run the right routes, be in the right places, be at the right depth. The right timing matters so much in this game, and defenses have to disrupt that. That's the cat and mouse game, but that's really been on display in the first half.
It truly has, and I have to give credit to USC. Their defense has been so sticky, the way that they're playing in coverage and that game plan they have. And then the Bulldogs, you've got some star players out there. I mean, you've got to give credit to quarterback Aliota and what she's been able to do, the decision making, and then utilizing her legs at the right times as well. This is what you're going to hope happens in the second half. You're watching for both these teams. What were you able to do with the adjustments? These are long halftime breaks, so how were you able to adjust? And USC started previously. It's now time for the Bulldogs to start with the ball.
So the Bulldogs will get the football, and offensively, again, they showed some big play capability in the first half. Can they sustain it here in the second half? Again, each of these teams hoping to avoid falling below 500 with a loss here this evening. And just to look ahead to tomorrow on Championship Sunday, the pool play today will determine seeding for tomorrow. Play begins at 8:30 tomorrow morning on both the north and south field, and you'll have number 1 playing versus number 8. You'll have number 4 playing number 5, number 3 versus number 6, and number 2 versus number 7. And those winners will, of course, advance to the semifinal round tomorrow at 12:30. We'll have one of those games right here for you on ESPNU, and then the championship game at 3 o'clock tomorrow here in the first ever Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic, displaying and giving a stage to a sport that is growing rapidly and that will take the global stage in the Olympics in the summer of 2028. I know you're looking forward to that as well as a competitor, not just a commentator. You expect to be there potentially as well in 2028.
Yep, that is the dream, absolutely. You can almost taste it. 2 years is not too far at all.
So the Bulldogs have it, first down to start the second half. And there's Mary House with the catch and a lateral to Cook at the end, but it looks like the flag was pulled prior to the pitch. But still a big play and a first down for the Bulldogs.
This is what's been successful for them, right? You're looking to get the ball into the playmaker's hands. House has been that go-to athlete for them. A slant coming across. You're trying to create that leverage. They've always seemed to have a player designed into the scheme that allows them to lateral the ball back. Now it's just being a little bit quicker with the decision-making. I've got to say, these officials do such a great job, and it happens so fast. You have to be so decisive and on top of your role.
Great job by Jaden Bellemure there as well. You saw the closing speed to get the Cook before she could pitch the football. This USC defense has some athletes out there to be sure. Here on first down, another pitch play, and this time it's Neely Cook making the catch, and then a two-handed pitch back to number 3, Burns Scott. It's the second time we've seen that combination today on a pitch play.
And this is the awareness we're talking about. Burns Scott is in there. She's there as a blocker. And then ultimately she releases as soon as the rusher comes by, and she's made a little bit of a contact with her. She gets out and becomes the second receiver ultimately in that play design. Really nicely done.
Second down coming up. Low snap. Hennessy handles it. Third consecutive pitch play, and there's Burns Scott again, the recipient of it. Makes her way out to near midfield. Flags pulled. It brings up third down, about 4 yards short of midfield.
It's having nice, simple rules, right? Hey, the rusher comes from here. This is who you're blocking. Once they've gone by, you release. You become that second body when it comes to the laterals. And the receivers look for this. This is the awareness that's so specific to this game.
Dual wide receivers to each side of the formation. That one high and off the mark, intended for Cook. Claire Hennessy had to get rid of it quickly. The pressure was coming, and just a bit inaccurate on the throw. Brings up fourth down, and, well, what do you do here?
Well, we saw them earlier go for it on fourth down in this scenario. They ended up having their quarterback run the ball. It looks like they may actually be punting it, though.
Down 7-0. I think that's the smart play here. Collegiate women's flag football, you do have more game time to work with. 12-minute quarters here in Tempe this weekend, so 48 minutes of game time. Falling behind isn't as critical as maybe in certain other formats, but you want to avoid a double-digit deficit if you can. There's Kyla Moore fielding the punt, ranging to her right, sprinting to the far sideline, has her flag pulled after a short pickup just north of the 20-yard line. And decent field position for the Trojans to start their first drive of the second half.
What I love about this format of the game is there's really a position for everyone. And that's what makes it so great. You can have someone who's just kind of zippy and fast, and they can be your punt returner. You need someone that's going to be able to block. You need your quarterback style, your tall receivers. I mean, this game is for everyone, and it makes it so exciting to be a part of because they all own those skill sets.
There's Jordan Swessinger, Lauren Bessie lined up to the near side in front of us. Bessie going in motion across the formation. Two blockers in the backfield on either side of Flores. Flores looks left, turns right, flips it out to the flats, and the catch made by number 15, Julie Ibrahim.
Really good job. I mean, this defense are using a lot of kind of those, that zone defense. You see that zone eyes, lots of recognition. In flag football, you don't have to hand the flag back to the athlete. Once you pull the flag, that's just it. And even though we're in 7s and it's a much larger field than 5s, you still get the ball spotted in the middle of the field.
So 3 wide receivers overloaded to the right side of the formation this time. Kyla Moore and Flores hip pocket. Flores across the middle. Cammie Douglas streaking across the field to the near sideline. And Mary House tracks her down to pull the flag.
It's a tough play angle, right? When you know that at any point somebody could receive the ball on the offensive side. And so ultimately, you've got to be so specific with your tackling angles. And ultimately, it's a really great play design. It's almost like a rub route, I would say. It's probably the nicest way to say that. Not necessarily a pick play.
No, but between that and the motion, you keep defenses guessing. Here's Flores over the middle looking for Swessinger. The ball was on target, but Swessinger couldn't hang on. I think she was thinking about running with the football before she secured it that time.
And she was in the middle of that zone, right? You had that post with that wheel coming right behind it. This is exactly what you want to see. And look, apologies before, the ball does move with the hashes. So we go back to the left hash, which again is very unique to this sport. You either go left hash, right hash. It's so much fun. And then your play design is built off of the top of that.
So 4th down. The Trojans will punt it away. End over end kick. Takes a high hop at the 20. Burns Scott with it. Streaking near side and runs out of bounds. And the Georgia Bulldogs will take the football back offensively with 6:05 left to go in the 3rd. We'll step aside. The USC Trojans maintaining a 7-0 lead here in Tempe on ESPNU.
While the world sleeps, dreams take shape. At the University of Georgia, inspiration never stops. From first light, we're building, creating, and pushing new boundaries. Each moment sparks discovery. Every connection fuels our future. As we learn, grow, explore, take a moment to recharge, and then we get right back to it. It's a new day, Bulldogs. So tell me, how will you spend it?
I wanted a college that thinks outside of the box. Scratch that. That doesn't even believe in boxes. That's not afraid to tap into the limitless potential of the human brain. And tear down the myth that great education is only for an elite few.
Being able to wear this as an analog astronaut.
Because the truth is, it's for all of us.
With the lead, but they've given the football back to the Bulldogs looking for their first points of the game. And look at Neely Cook, a catch in traffic, a shimmy, a shake, and a sprint across midfield. A big pickup and a first down for the Dogs.
Neely Cook is such a stud for this team. I mean, she's a senior now, but she is such an integral part of where this team has gotten to and does a really nice job of keeping her feet moving. And it's not about keeping her feet moving, it's the gaining ground. So she'll make a move and she'll be able to gain ground with her feet, which is not an easy skill to learn. Also a multi-sport athlete, and you can see that coming to life here.
Aliota throwing on the run. House makes the catch, cuts it back to the middle of the field, but cannot get away from Jaden Bellemure. And a good job by Aliota that time to get rid of it, throwing in rhythm. We've seen the ball come off her hands funny a couple of times in this game, but she really looks to be hitting her stride right now.
She does, and I think tempo is a big part of that. These Bulldogs do great when they've got tempo on their side.
Aliota calls for it. Second down, rifles it far side. Catch made by Cook. She stopped after a gain of about 6 yards. That'll bring up third down. Kyle Bailey, Phoebe Schechter with you live from the campus of Arizona State University. The sun has set here in the Valley, and the lights are on. Final game of pool play here on this Saturday. Again, both teams 1-1. And Georgia, a team that has found a good deal of success offensively so far here on the opening day of the tournament. They've been stifled so far through about 2.5 quarters of play. But a big opportunity here. Aliota moving away from pressure, throwing near side, just out of reach of Mary House.
You see these defenders are playing all different positions. Previously, you saw Sweshentru's playing that cover 2 safety. Now she's come down and she's playing man. I mean, it makes it very confusing on offense when you're trying to pick it apart.
I believe we have a flag on the field. Might be a blocking call, a legal blocking call against the offense. That is in fact the case. Be a 5-yard penalty and will remain third down according to the head official. So the good news there for the Bulldogs, no loss of down, but they're moved a bit further back. 4:12 left to go. Aliota, here comes the pressure, gets rid of it just in time. Catch made by Cook, sprinting to the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia Bulldogs.
Phenomenal job here. What a great move. Ultimately, first off, you think that you're going to be in a negative scenario because you have lost 5 yards on the illegal blocking. But Neely Cook coming up clutch again. You see how they go through the kind of hot hands of this moment. You see the quarterback hang in there with a rusher in her face, and again, coming across in that post and that last minute hips going forwards as she reaches the ball out. Beautiful job.
Neely Cook, the senior from Monroe, Georgia, sports management major. And in true entrepreneurial fashion, she goes and gets it right there. She was part of the big dinner last night here in Tempe. She was brought up by Scott Lehman, unannounced, and told us all about her business. She's not just a college student, but a business owner as well. And there's the conversion to the back of the end zone, caught and good, the equalizer. We've got a 7-7 game here in Tempe, Georgia, finally on the board.
We saw Allie Gasser earlier almost have that one-handed catch. Well, here you go. She comes up big in the moment. Look at that touchdown when you see Cook reaching high, pointing that ball, and eyes are set. She is determined as an athlete on and off the field.
We've got a game here in Tempe, and all of a sudden the Georgia sideline has a lot of energy, understandably, and now the Trojans will get the football for the first time here in the second half. A long, methodical drive that time for Georgia. Ties up the game. Here's Flores on first down. Pumps, dumps to Cammie Douglas, who reverses field. Picks up a Trojan first down, and the flag is pulled a couple of yards past the 20-yard line. And boy, Cammie Douglas has gotten busy in this game. Wasn't targeted early, but once things started working, Jordan Flores has been looking for her time and time again.
She has, because she's got that skill set as well, where ultimately you can put the ball anywhere within her catch radius because she's so much taller than everyone else as well. And she's got these great big limbs where it actually feels like she is gaining so much ground, but it doesn't look like she's running that fast, and it makes it hard on a defender.
Back-to-back first down plays here. It's a floated, it's a dump off to Kyla Moore. Ball floated out of Jordan Flores' hand. Feathery touch. Moore was there to bring it in. Short gain, though, as the Georgia Bulldogs defense converges quickly. 3 minutes left to play here in the third quarter.
Having a quick little huddle on the sideline. There's obviously something that they're feeling they need to achieve, because you've got about 17 yards you've got to gain on. Really, you're looking at two plays. You need to be able to keep this going. I mean, they're keeping it
get
close.
there quickly, too.
30-second play clock.
That's right, 30 seconds to get the play off. Will they get it? They do. From the gun, here's Flores, deep down the middle, picked off. Burns Scott snags it away. Streaking the other way, flag is pulled right about the 20-yard line, but Burns Scott has been a playmaker all over the field here this evening and makes a massive play, and the tides have turned here in Tempe. The Bulldogs had a hard time finding pay dirt in the first half. They score on their opening drive in the second half, and now a huge takeaway deep in Trojan territory.
Huge takeaway, but huge field position. You have to look at where they are. They're first to the 20. And so they've ultimately got 4 attempts here and potentially another 4 attempts on the other side. I mean, you would be attempting shots right now, giving that quarterback an opportunity to air it out.
Here's Claire Hennessy. Flips it out. The catch is made. The ball taken inside the 20. So we'll play back-to-back first downs here. Burns Scott, younger sister of Avery Scott. Avery was one of the founding members of Georgia Bulldog flag football. She can't be out there tonight. We talked to her last night. She arrived in a walking boot, was injured last week in a game, in the title game against Clemson at a tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina. Wanted to give it a go this weekend, but just couldn't do it. She's also getting married in a couple of weeks and probably didn't want to walk down the aisle on crutches. As right here, first down completion to number 15, Allie Gasser. And a big play on first down gets the Dogs that much closer to the goal line.
This team feeds off of momentum, and we have felt that back-to-back plays from offense to defense, and back here again, Allie Gasser getting the extra point for them earlier. Her speed is impressive. When you see her cross that field, I mean, she saw that green grass.
30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Georgia Bulldogs looking to take their first lead of the game, and they do. Touchdown, Dogs. How about this start to the second half for UGA? They could hardly find any sustained momentum in the first half offensively, but they have come out barking here in the second half.
Mary House is just a phenomenal receiver. She went a bit quiet early on, but watch the quarterback rolling out. Her eyes are on House the entire time, and great spatial awareness to then catch the ball and be able to turn upfield. A very acrobatic move in the background there, as we saw number 3, Kyla Moore, do a flip essentially over the padding.
Bunch formation for Georgia. Here's Hennessy, flips it out, too short, incomplete. And the conversion is no good. The score remains 13-7, though Georgia has again taken its first lead of the ball game with 24 seconds left to go in the third quarter. This game's all about adjustments, Phoebe. You know that. What major adjustments have you really noticed out there?
I think the biggest thing is ultimately using tempo, using speed. Of course, when you're seeing your defense step up and make a huge play and giving you another opportunity, we talk so much in this game about how this is offensively led, but you never get enough opportunities. Look at this touchdown, though. Look at the awareness, reaching her arms out. Mary House has been fantastic. Great speed on the outside, running away from the leverage of her defender.
So from the 14. The Trojans now trailing for the first time. And there's a false start. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. And everything turning up Georgia, and USC having some trouble here in the second half.
This is where you need your leaders to step up, right? You needed them to say, hey, look, guys, we're fine. Let's take a little bit of a breather. That goldfish moment we love to talk about. And it's interesting that when the interception happened, it was when the head coach had called them all over to the sideline. You wonder if that rush, that panic, remember, this is still a young team. They've only been playing not even a year. They started back in January, so not even a few months ultimately.
Here's Flores, finds Douglas on a crossing route. We've seen that quite often tonight. Douglas, sure-handed, makes the grab. Doesn't pick up much, though, before the flag is pulled. That'll bring up second down.
This Bulldogs defense are starting to show their experience, right? That's fine. You want to run crossing routes in front of us. We're just going to settle in our zones. We're going to let you run into the zone of the next defender, and we'll pull flags.
And that is the end of the third quarter as the Georgia Bulldogs have pulled ahead. A big, big third quarter for Georgia, and they lead it 13-7 as we head into the final frame. It's the Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic, the inaugural here in Tempe, Arizona at Arizona State. Fourth quarter coming up next right here on ESPNU.
Hypergrip technology. Fit system initializing. Launch gravity study. Fit system ready. Rotation scenario. Oakley hypergrip technology. Next level unleashed.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities in education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation, our season never ends.
Back here in Tempe, 13-7, the Georgia Bulldogs taking the lead here in the second half. And we've got the Trojans of Southern California, as you see right there, taking the field to start the fourth quarter. They have the football on second down, trailing by 6. Kyle Bailey, Phoebe Schechter with you live on this Saturday evening. The sky is dark, the lights are on. The Trojans trailing for the first time, looking to get it back on second down. There's a quick hitter out to the far side to number 32, Jessica Gonzalez.
Yeah, we were speaking a little bit before the break there about how this defense is reacting, right? It's a kind of that bend, don't break defense. So, hey, we're not going to let you beat us deep. We saw what happened in the first half and how that went for us. So now it's, hey, let's relax, keep everything in front. I mean, we're seeing right now the girls are dancing on the sideline, having a good time. But you have a whole quarter to play, and it's important. That extra point could play a really big role. It usually does in tight games like this.
It's a big third down. Flores going over the top. Any flags coming in? No, that ball was intended for Jessica Gonzalez. We'll check the replay here. I thought there might be enough contact there at the end to draw a flag, but apparently not. Gonzalez is looking for her second consecutive catch. She's gone quiet here in the second half. We saw her get a couple of targets in the first half, and you wonder, Phoebe, if maybe the Trojans, we saw them be a bit aggressive throwing the ball down the field early in this game as they get set to punt it, but we've seen more of a conservative approach from them offensively here in the second half.
Yeah, we have, and I think that's where it's also being dictated by what the defense is allowing. Remember, they had that interception, which put them a little bit on the back foot. You're starting to feel the energy. It's fourth down, so you've got the punt.
That's a big kick, spiraling kick. Hits between the returners and picked up back near the goal line. Burns Scott gets her hands on it and is able to recover some yardage, but a great kick.
And great coverage there from Jessica Gonzalez all the way downfield, sprinting to make that flagpole. And this goes back to our initial conversation. It takes so many shapes and sizes. If you've got somebody that has special team skills like that, it is a game changer for you, because now you're forcing the Bulldogs to march the entire length of this field. They normally start on the 14-yard line, so this is huge.
Yeah, McKinley Schneckenberger with a great boot right there. That's quite a weapon to have. Flipping the field for the Trojans as Neely Cook makes a catch on first down, and a good ball from Hayden Aliota to get the drive started.
What I love to see, and there really has been quite a high level of it, is the flag pulling, the accuracy. Those fundamentals are crucial to this part of the game. And both sides, both teams have been doing a really nice job of doing that, especially Jordan Sweshinger. She's had a few different opportunities there, and she's come up successful.
Again, we mentioned this already, but Jordan Swessinger, younger sister of Cleveland Browns linebacker and former UCLA Bruin Carson Swessinger. So I'm sure in some ways it's tough to see his sister donning a USC uniform, even though he is no doubt a proud older brother. As there she was in the vicinity, but that one falls incomplete. And we'll bring up third down.
It's good to have these sibling rivalries.
Of course. Well, sibling rivalries are natural, of course, but then you throw in a rivalry like USC and UCLA on top of it. Makes you wonder how some Thanksgivings go. I'm just going to throw that out there, but I'm sure they get along just fine. In fact, she told us yesterday that he is quite supportive. If the Swessinger family's out there watching here on this Saturday evening, we say hello from Tempe, Arizona. Here's Aliota on third down. Floats it out to the flat. Catch made by Scott, and Scott just gets across the 20-yard line according to the far side judge. That's a big first down.
And Scott did a really nice job. You know, that ball was hanging in the air for a little bit, a bit of a high arc to it, and just that fingertip pluck out of the sky by her. And it's the eyes, and then you follow it right across. I mean, watching this, Aliota just puts it up and almost a little bit behind her, but she does such a great job. The awareness, remember, it's about where the football is when the flag is pulled. Beautiful arc.
Here's Aliota, complete across the middle to number 1, Sydney Watton. And Watton hits the ground there at the end of the play. Good job by Aliota throwing in rhythm on that slant route by Watton.
And you're starting to see a mix of different athletes getting their hands on the football here. Watton going down, it probably was one of the good decisions to make in that moment. It's hard sometimes as a defender to just slow yourself down when you're going in to make that flag pull.
Clock rolling at 7:15 and counting. Catch made, Neely Cook near sideline. As she barks at the end of the play to fire up the near sideline. Neely Cook is a character now, I'm telling you.
She absolutely is, and she just loves her team so much, and she brings so much of herself and gives so much of herself to this team. Look, we talk about it all the time. Flag football allows you to be who you are, and every single athlete out here on the field are exactly living up to that.
Third down and about 6 yards short of midfield. Aliota drifting left, throws back across the middle, but it's dropped by Allie Gasser, who is very upset with herself for not hanging on.
I don't think she can believe it because she's made some great catches so far, and it just kind of hit her in the chest. She knew that she was open for so long. She made eyes, great body language, and when it's that easy and you're that open sometimes, you know, you said it earlier, you got to catch and then run.
I think she probably saw in her periphery there was a lot of real estate in front of her. Got a bit ahead of herself, but now the Georgia Bulldogs will punt the football, and here's the multi-talented Neely Cook with an end-over-end punt. It bounces straight up at about the 10-yard line. Kyla Moore picks it up, recovers some yardage just shy of the 20-yard line. And the Trojans will get the football back. A big break for them as Gasser walking to the sideline frustrated, understandably. A chance for Georgia there to potentially extend the lead. So the Trojans catch a break. They get the football back with 5.5 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. Kyle Bailey, Phoebe Schechter, live from Dorsey Field here on the campus of Arizona State University. The final game of pool play here on campus before play resumes in the quarterfinal round tomorrow morning. Make sure to be here on Home Team Network for the quarterfinal action. And then for the semis, tune in to ESPNU and, of course, the championship game at 3 o'clock on ESPNU as well. Jordan Flores with Kyla Moore in her hip pocket to her left. One blocker in front. Snapping the gun back to Flores, swings it out to Moore. Moore gets away from a defender out across the 20-yard line, picks up about 5 more, and there's that elusiveness of Kyla Moore on display again.
She is such a fun athlete to watch, and you see even of this defense of the Georgia Bulldogs, Chloe Clark knows this is happening, comes right down on her, and she still can't slow her down. But love how she's running a little juke step at the top. I cannot wait to see this young athlete next year when she had a whole year of flag football under her belt.
There's so much talent on this field, so much talent in the sport across the country. I will say that Team USA have got no shortage of incredible talent to choose from with the Olympics on the horizon in 2028. Here's Flores, first down, going up top. Up for grabs. Intercepted by Mary House. House sidesteps the defender, pitches it back. Ball's still live. Another pitch. And the ball hits the ground. Neely Cook. Well, we had some confusion there as, well, Ashley Marshall thought Cook was going to grab it. Cook thought Marshall was going to grab it, but it falls, it hits incomplete. It's a dead ball, but the big news there, an interception, and the Georgia Bulldogs get the football back.
Yeah, you're going to just watch this replay here. You're watching Flores. She went to go to her favorite target. Moore was covered. I think she felt that her receiver was going to keep running, especially since she's been such a star of the show in terms of Cammie Douglas, and just didn't keep running her route there. And then that's what makes this fun on the interception. The lateral plays are free-for-alls ultimately. So you're looking at anything could happen on these plays.
3 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in the ball game. The Georgia Bulldogs with a massive defensive play, up 6 and looking to put this game away if they can find pay dirt here. Here's Hennessy rolling right, running away from pressure, and that one came off her hand a little bit funny, looking for Neely Cook deep down the far sideline, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and a very odd big gust of wind just came across the entire field like that. Look, you're second down. You do have a bit of a chunk of yardage to go, but you're starting to play with the clock. When it gets to 2 minutes before the end of game, it's going to be a pro clock. So 30-second play clock here. You look at one play in before going to the 2-minute warning.
2.5 to go now. Hennessy taking her time. They're going to milk the play clock all the way down, understandably. And now steps forward in the gun and calls for it. High snap. Here comes the pressure. Has to get rid of it. Complete across the middle of the field. And Ashley Marshall thought her flag was pulled. Her teammates had to shout at her to keep running. She does, picks up a few extra yards. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Really nice job, though, by Ashley Marshall. Again, playing center. You see her here. She's going to snap the ball. It is a bit high, but my goodness, she becomes a big target, reaches those hands out. Look, the flags can spin on the hips of the athlete. If they've been pulled, they don't have to reset them whilst running.
So the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. And we'll step aside. 13-7, Georgia Bulldogs leading and driving late in Tempe. We got a great finish coming your way. Keep it right here on ESPNU.
While the world sleeps, dreams take shape. At the University of Georgia, inspiration never stops. From first light, we're building, creating, and pushing new boundaries. Each moment sparks discovery. Every connection fuels our future. As we learn, grow, explore, take a moment to recharge, and then we get right back to it. It's a new day, Bulldogs. So tell me, how will you spend it?
I wanted a college that thinks outside of the box. Scratch that. That doesn't even believe in boxes. That's not afraid to tap into the limitless potential of the human brain. And tear down the myth that great education is only for an elite few.
Being able to wear this as an analog astronaut.
Because the truth is, it's for all of us.
The Fiesta Flag Football Classic presented by Oakley, coming down to the wire here in Tempe. Kyle Bailey, Phoebe Schechter with you as the Georgia Bulldogs looking to secure their 2nd win of the tournament. Grabbed a big interception just minutes ago, leading 13-7. And here's Courtney Hennessy off her back foot to Gasser. Gasser flips back to Cook. Cook sidesteps the defender, cuts back to the sideline. And the flag was pulled before she could cross the goal line, but what a great play by the Georgia offense.
That was beautiful in so many facets of the game. Watch from the beginning. The quarterback stands in there, finds her crosser. Allie Gasser, who had that drop earlier, was very upset with herself as she drives across, looks for Nellie Cook. I mean, this could not look like they're having more fun out there if they tried.
Georgia now with 1:31 on the clock and continuing to run. A touchdown here would certainly, you'd think, put this game away, although there is the opportunity, if the Trojans could find a score, there is an opportunity for an onside kick. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. As that one's batted up in the air, secured for the touchdown. What a wild offensive ride for Georgia on this possession, but it results in a touchdown.
I don't think Kyla Moore could believe that that just happened. Look, the ball was put up. Moore gets a hand in it, does a really nice job of trying to get that pass breakup. We're actually taught to kind of punch it down because as you see here, it is batted back, and Gasser again, who had that play earlier, has the awareness to catch the ball and find the end zone. Unbelievable job by these Bulldogs, just showing their experience.
Allie Gasser had a near highlight touchdown catch go off her fingertips in the end zone in the first half. Dropped that ball at midfield a couple of minutes ago. It makes a massive play to put her team up 12. And look at that. On the spot, drops it in the bucket. The conversion is good. And Georgia takes a 13-point lead here in Tempe. Allie Gasser, the recipient back-to-back of 2 scoring receptions. She certainly found her groove. Let's check the replay here.
Yeah, and it was great to see earlier because she was upset on the sideline. Her teammates came in and helped her out. But this is the next level awareness that you're looking for. Moore does a great job of getting a hand in it, and Gasser has her eyes, her awareness. We saw that same look when she had the ball in her hand earlier on that one-handed drop she had. The awareness is there, that kind of feeling of space. Some people just have that magnetism when it comes to football.
She certainly displayed that on this drive. So it's 20-7. The Bulldogs lead it by 13. Just over a minute to go. The Trojans will have to move quickly here. Lauren Bessie in motion. Flores takes the snap, and she's sacked. Had no time to operate there.
You can feel a little bit of the pressure here mounting on the Trojans. Jordan Flores feeling like she had nowhere to go in that scenario. That's what makes it hard. You've got this 1-yard rush essentially, and a blocker is so crucial. You're looking to make these throws downfield because you feel the pressure of time. You're feeling the pressure of the moment.
What a move by Maddie McKinley to get the sack, and great job defensively right there by Georgia to knock that one away.
Flores has such an unbelievable arm. You can see her arm strength showcasing the play before. You just think, get rid of the ball. Get the ball into your blocker's hands. Give yourself another chance to live. But here, I mean, fantastic job by Mary House, who again is playing both ways. A lot of these athletes are breaking up the pass to really one of their top receivers in Kyla Moore.
Yeah, I don't think Mary House has come off the field all night long. She's trying to help Georgia salt away a win as that one off the fingertips of Swessinger falls incomplete, stops the clock at 31.8 seconds and brings up 4th down. And the Trojans on their last leg here will have to get the ball to at least the 20-yard line to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, Flores just needs to take a second to breathe. When she gets the ball in her hand and she doesn't necessarily get the feel on the laces and it has that kind of wobble to it when she throws it, it's very challenging. And you've got the Saturday night lights as well.
Looks like USC will punt the football away. They will concede here as McKinley Schneckenberger gets away another missile. This one end over end, caught by House near midfield. She'll jog around, fake the pitch, and allow her flag to be pulled to milk some time off the clock. And if you're wondering at home why the Trojans would elect to punt, there is a matter of point differential in this tournament, and giving up a freebie to the Georgia Bulldogs could come back to haunt them. So Georgia, with 22.2 seconds remaining in this ball game, will take a knee on the football, I'm sure, and improve to 2-1 here in the Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic. What a second half by the team out of the SEC.
This is a different team. I mean, this is a completely different outfit to what we saw in the first half. And sometimes it's nerves, sometimes it's fatigue, sometimes it's just taking that long to figure out what is our warm-up schedule. Remember, they play 3 games throughout the day. So how they get ready for this last game is everything.
Look at Georgia. They will run a play as Aliota finds Burns Scott across midfield. Flags pulled and the clock stops with 17.1 seconds left to go.
I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that they did that, because when you saw the return, they short-lined it intentionally, meaning they stopped short of achieving the next first down. So you think they would want to waste time a little bit, but now they've spent that time.
And the clock restarts with the spot of the football and rolls down to 0-0. And the Georgia Bulldogs pick up a massive win over the Trojans, 20-7, 20 unanswered points in the second half by the Bulldogs. An offense that was stifled and got in its own way in the first half was able to find life and plenty of success to pick up a 13-point win. And again, they improved to 2-1. And as we look ahead to tomorrow, that's huge for them. Obviously, in seeding, we'll find out here at the end of the tournament with some of the other results exactly what the seeds will be. But their SEC rival, the Florida Gators, went 3-0 to start the day. The UCF Knights are 2-1. They just picked up a resounding victory on the other end here a couple of minutes ago. So that win was huge for Georgia.
The win was huge for Georgia, and I think it was huge for a multitude of reasons. I think building up their confidence as well in terms of what they feel like they can put on the field tomorrow. They've got to find a way to start where they've left off. That is crucial for the success of this team.
Yep, you see the Dogs right there celebrating at the end of a long day. It was a hot one here in Tempe. Temperatures reaching the upper 90s, probably triple digits out here on these turf fields. But they fought their way through it to a 2-1 record. And that will wrap up pool play here at Arizona State. The Fiesta Bowl Flag Football Classic presented by Oakley continues tomorrow. Quarterfinal play begins at 8:30. Make sure to be here for that. Semifinals at 12:30, championship at 3. Make sure to join us right here on ESPNU.